Hey, everybody, it's Basement Tapes number 323, and we're back to the good stuff. Back to the fun baseball set releases, idiosyncrasies of the 1970s. We're getting closer to the end here of the 70s and very close to the end of the 1978 run. And we, of course, are talking about the 1978 wiffle ball discs. Wow, what a fun little concept. Let's get little Johnny and Susie right there in the jugular by putting little products right on the end of some more practical things like wiffle balls and bats sold in your stores and all that stuff. Yes, I'm going to pontificate here for a second. That's what's missing today. What the companies want, I say the companies, plural, is they want your money straight up. They don't want to offer you any kind of experience or long-lasting satisfaction, or gratification is a combination of those two words. Satisfaction. So they don't want to give you that. They just want to take your bucks. And the wiffle ball discs allowed you to get a baseball card souvenir and, hey, actually get outside and do something with a bat and a ball. So enough about my bats and balls. There's 80 of these, and I think I have them all, thankfully. A little shorter, smaller, less of a diameter than most of the discs in the 70s. But let's not spoil it, folks. Let's get over to Beckett. 81, it says, 509 average value. That's pretty impressive for a disc. 412 total value. A set of these between $175 and $350. These discs were on the side of wiffle ball boxes. Even though the copyright date on the discs are 1976, the player selection implies that this set was issued early in 1978. For some reason, Thurman Munson discs seem to be available in significantly higher quantities, and we have labeled Munson as a DP. These discs are unnumbered, and we have sequenced this set in alphabetical order. So let's look at the top three. Probably won't be Thurman Munson, I think, after that little quick snippet. Pete Rose, Nolan Ryan, and George Brett. We're talking about $15 to $40 for those, 10 to 25 for the Brett. Yaz is in there, $8 to $20. So these are pretty expensive little doohickeys. Let's get into TCDB, see what they have to say. There they are. Looks familiar, right? MSA, all that fun stuff. This says 78. So let me get to 1978 wiffle balls, which is what I have. I don't know what happened here. Don't know how I ended up in 79. There we go. Okay. 80 of them, according to TCDB. They say they are 2.5 in diameter. Of course, they're circles, so there's really only one dimension, 2.5 inches. Can be distinguished from the 1979 wiffle ball discs set in that these were die cut instead of printed and cut from the box. In addition, there are stars on the back of the discs. The 1979 discs do not include stars. So the teams depicted here: Braves, Orioles, Red Sox, Angels, Cubs, White Sox, Reds, Indians, Tigers, Astros, Royals, Dodgers, Brewers, Twins, Expos, Mets, Yankees, Athletics, Phillies, Pirates, Padres, Giants, Cardinals, and Rangers. No Mariners and no Blue Jays, as they say. 22 Hall of Famers, including Bench, Blyleven, Brett, Brock, Carew, Carlton, Eckersley, Fingers, Fisk, Hunter, Jackson, Morgan, Palmer, Perez, Perry, Rice, Ryan, Schmidt, Seaver, Simmons, Stargell, and Carl Michael Yastrzemski, the greatest of them all. Comments here. There is 2 comments. Day Ray says, I believe that although they are 1978 discs, they are copyrighted on the front. At least mine are, he says. You may be right there, buddy. Yasman says, I have some issues with listings. First, I own 3 complete boxes. 2 are regulation size wiffle balls, and 1 is junior size. The size of the discs themselves are the same, but the boxes vary. All my boxes say copyright 1977 on the corner. All the discs have an MLBPA copyright of 1976 on them. All the discs with players' photos on the outside of the box on all 3 boxes have stars on the backs. This would make them all 1978s according to the description on this page. Here are my problems with this. This is like Festivus. Yasman continues. The 1978 list has Dave Kingman with the Mets. My Dave Kingman is with the Cubs. He shows up on the 1979 list with the Cubs, but my box has the outside players with stars on the backs. The 1979 discs have no stars. On another box, I have Aurelio Rodriguez, but he does not show up on the 1978 list. He is on the 1979 list, but again, on the box, the outside players have stars on their backs. It gets stranger when you look back at the old standard catalog and Beckett guide. They list only 1976 Wiffles in the 2000 guide. The 2016 vintage standard catalog has 1977 and 1978 listed, but no Aurelio Rodriguez listed. They do have an Ellie Rodriguez listed in 1978, but it is listed with the non-starred types. Vintage Beckett from 2022 just lists a 1978 set. No Rodriguez at all. My conclusion is that it is time for some energetic young fella to sort this out. So Yasman, I mean, you folks think you have problems. This guy goes to bed every night worried about the 1978, 79, 77 wiffle ball situation that hasn't been resolved for nearly half a century. So when you're saying your prayers in your little footy pajamas, just think about how somebody out there has it worse. And Yasman is a perfect example of that. Packaging. Let's look at that. Here's the boxes, folks. There is a Thurman Munson of the New York Yankees recommends wiffle ball. Regulation baseball size. Wiffle ball regulation baseball size with curves. Bat it. Bounce it. Safe anywhere. The new fun ball wiffle ball. A tough rubbery plastic ball, light in weight, designed to take the place of baseball in confined areas. Primarily an outdoor ball, good indoors. Wiffle ball, the original plastic ball that curves. So it does curve. Be sure to see Wiffle golf clubs and sets as well. So that's a fun little box there. There's the backside of the ball, the box. You can also see how people are throwing out curves and in shoots and all that stuff. So future kids getting ready to blow their arms out by joining wiffle ball leagues as adults, looking plain ass silly. So good thing about wiffle ball is you always had a catcher, right? As long as you had a chair, you had a catcher. But I preferred the Fat Albert bats. I had much better luck with the big orange Fat Albert bats. Let's look at the gallery here. There's old Sal Bando leading us off. The captain, 6 foot, 215, birth date 2/13/44. Born in Cleveland, Major League Baseball Players Association. Copyright there. Of course, these are unlicensed. These are MSAs, Mike Schechter and Associates. The back says Wiffle Sports Spectacular Collector Series Limited Edition MSA. 3 stars on each side. Wiffle ball is trademarked. And man, the backs of these are just beautiful because it looks like a wiffle ball. Buddy Bell's in there, pretty in pink. Johnny Bench, Vita Blue. Why didn't Vita Blue show up with blue lacing there or a side panel, whatever? I don't know, sweet spots, whatever you guys want to call them. Anyway, that would have been a nice little marketing maneuver. Burt Blyleven, Bobby Bonds, George Brett, Lou Brock. There's Bill Buckner with the Cubbies, Ray Barris with the Cubs, etc. Goes on and on and on. Campy Campaneris is listed, not Bert Campaneris. Campy Campaneris. By the way, he's 82 years old, that guy, if he's still alive. Rod Carew out there. Steve Carlton, he's from Mars. Dave Cash, Cesar Cedeno, Ron Say, Chris Chambliss, Davey Concepcion, Dennis Eckersley. I'm looking at these players, and it's amazing. A, it's amazing how many are still with us. And B, it's sad to think that a lot of them are approaching 80 or 80, and they might not be around for much longer. Fidrich right there is a perfect example. Up until a couple of years ago, I thought he was still alive, but turns out he wasn't. Carlton Fisk, George Foster, Wayne Garland, who can never forget Wayne Garland. There's Ralph Garr, Steve Garvey's a douche, Don Gullett, Larry Hissel, Al Hrabosky, Catfish Hunter in the black cap. Looks like he's all umpiring up there. Reggie Jackson, Orioles cap alert there, airbrushed out. Randy Jones, looking pretty tame with his hair right there. Dave Kingman clearly says he's a San Diego Padre. Yasman accused him of being a Met and a Cub, but right here he is a Padre. Jerry Kuzman, Ed Kranepool, Ron LaFleur, Sixto Lescano. That's just fun to say. Davey Lopes, Sixto Lescano looks like he's in drag right there. Greg Luzinski, he's the bull. Freddie Lynn, that picture has been ridden hard and put away wet, as they say. Gary Maddox, John Matlock, Gary Matthews, he's the Sarge. He's sporting one single ear flap on his helmet. There's Lee May, of course, also wearing an Orioles cap that's airbrushed. John Mayberry, Bake, Arnold McBride, Tug McGraw, his name's Frank. Hal McRae, his name's Hal. Andy Messersmith, it goes on and on here. Randy Moffat makes an appearance there from the West Coast. John Montefusco, he's the count. Joe Morgan, Thurman Munson, DP, as they say. Greg Nettles, Al Oliver, robbed of a MVP award one year in the 80s. Jorge Orta, we call him George. Jim Palmer, Dave Parker, he's got the striped hat. Tony Perez with an Expos hat there, folks, airbrushed out. Gaylord Perry, his hat is all greased up. Jim Rice, it's a picture of Jim Rice you rarely see. Steve Rogers, Pete Rose, Joe Rudy, Nolan Ryan. That's a common photo of Ryan back there as an angel and hell. Manny Sanguillen, 3 stripes across that stovetop hat. Mike Schmidt, greatest third baseman of all time. Tom Seaver, Ted Simmons, not related to Gene Simmons. Reggie Smith, he's got hair everywhere. He looks like Bozo the Clown wearing a chin strap to keep his hair on his head. Willie Stargell, also part of the 3 striped club. Rusty Staub, Frank Tanana, Gene Tennis, Louis Tiant, Manny Trio. Bob Watson's got glasses. He's the professor. Carl Yastrzemski and Richie Zisk, the last and final there. Not sure what card number 81 is supposed to be, or the 81st card in that set, but I am unaware of any errors or variations there. So be it. So that's the 1978 Wiffle Ball set from Mike Schechter and his wonderful band of merry people there, wherever they were located, doing a lot of work there on the underground baseball card community and bringing joy to kids throughout the country. Wiffle balls, wiffle bats, and MSA discs included in one entire purchase. So that's Basement Tapes number 323. Thanks for checking it out, and we will see you very, very, very soon. Thanks.